obviously anticipation. We are waiting to get more information. We are waiting for the opportunity to ask questions, to try and fill out some more of the details, to add to that fantastic reporting that Evan was just giving you on air now. I would guess that by the level of preparation,
for those that didn't hear, 7:30 at the soonest, so at least 30 minutes, possibly more.
Just hearing now, it's going to be at least 30 minutes, John, before this press conference starts here on the campus in Orem, Utah, where we will be getting more information. We expect that Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, will be here. I imagine that the governor of Utah might be here. Of course, the Utah Public Safety will be here. And they have in the past given us information, and they have also taken a limited number of questions. So we are hoping to get that chance to fill out, to ask questions, to really get more of a picture, more of an idea of how this transpired. John.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good with that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Everybody good? Keep going? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check 1, check 2, check 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it's for you guys coming in, 7:30 is the earliest start time for this now, so you guys are all aware. You good? Everybody? We'll do another check in about 15. Keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Check, check. 1, 2, check, check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check, check, check. 1, 2, check, 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 check. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll come back up in about 10 or 15 for another one. Thank you.
Yeah, hi, Mike. You have a thing that this one would be concrete. I have to say, rather than thrown together hurriedly, we were expecting a news conference starting right now, but we're told that's been delayed by half an hour at least. There will be a full lineup ready by when they come to the podium and reveal the details. We have all been skilled, haven't we, by Donald Trump live and exclusive on Fox and Fred, bringing you all the latest news. The president, just before he went on that show, was told that they had their man, and details were sketchy by his own admission, but that wasn't going to stop him. What appears to be the case is that a family member recognised the individual, still in his position, and from that video footage of the figure making his escape, running across the room, dropping down the ground and making his way in. There seems to be, according to the less than the president, a minister involved, somebody religious, he might have gone to the father of the alleged at that stage. According to government, that the father convinced his son that he should turn him in. They are said to have gone to a US Marshal around about 11 p.m. last night. Donald Trump, the president, said he's aged about 28 or 29, to be sure. Our understanding is that he is in his early 20s and is from the state of Utah. The arrest was executed by Utah law enforcement authorities. I think that it would be a fairly quick matter of establishing whether or not they do indeed have the right guy. You'll remember they have evidence from the scene, the palm print, the forearm print. They have a footwear impression, so that's all ready to go for when they made an arrest. And it will be a question fairly rapidly, I suspect, of matching the evidence to the individual in custody. But I would caution, and we have been cautioning all morning, don't forget this is the third guy they have taken. Don't forget the FBI director said with absolute certainty they had the man who had committed murder only to have to correct himself on social media within a matter of minutes. So there is a caveat to everything. But if we are to take nobody less than the President of the United States actually to work, this manhunt has come to a success.
So far,
Ich hätte ganz gerne mit Sebastian. Okay, könnt ihr mich bitte okay. Also ja, okay. Ja, die Pressekonferenz verschiebt sich genau eine halbe Stunde. Also es wäre besser, wenn you know, that I think this is where and it's I mean, as
I don't think it's on.
Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Gotcha, all of them. They said the mic check was super modulated on that audio. The podium, yeah.
the opening up that's great. This is the next one. All right. Okay, cool. This is the
Jim, control room's asking, are we going to have two channels, one from podium, one for questions from here? You're getting that? Yeah, answer is yes. No, but reporter or they're not passing a mic around. No. So I'm channel 2. Yeah. So podium is channel 1. I am channel 2 on this one.
Test, 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 test.
after those two individuals were interviewed and released, they started receiving threats from other members of the public because their names were out there at that point in time. And people obviously I hate to do that because those two people have been cleared. So that was also, I think, a driver in trying to get someone, these suspects, in custody more quickly. So attention would, in some instances, not be focused on individuals like that. I can tell you that there was a press on campus yesterday, not related to this initial investigation. Potentially, there was someone, the campus was closed, who wandered off the campus, crossed the police station into the crime scene area on that courtyard. Officers obviously immediately engaged him, trying to find out who he was. The other was not cooperating, afraid of the officers at that point. They obviously caught him. He's been charged with felony obstruction, a significant charge here. This is also basically like this investigation of this goes on, but we still have questions. I'm sorry, this is time to get on some of those questions.
Check, check, check.
Hey, is that Nancy Gravino? That
Yeah, of course.
The sources telling you this is jump off of that building and run off towards the neighborhood. That high rifle was obtained. Now, the question this morning is, who is this person? This question will start in the next 20 minutes or so. That's for sure. What they know is this person possibly reported why he so as soon as we get information in that confirm this name It's certainly different today than it was yesterday. When we got here yesterday, we were able to have a little bit of walking around parts of it. It's not entirely parts, but parts of it. So that was important off. We're not able to say to as frequently as we were yesterday. Something else that we saw this morning is
Yeah, hi, Matt. That's right. Tyler J. Robinson is the name of NBC are reporting. Trusting back to 5 sources. As you say, that sounds like it has been bottom. Matt, you'll see tell us at this news conference that was due to start half an hour ago. It's been delayed, so we'll see NGI is due to host that along with others who were involved in making this arrest. It was made, executed by Utah State authorities. There is an address for Tyler Robinson's only 4 hours from this university. Man, we'll wait to see that what that says about the ties to this particular institution. Valley University assassination took place, but for officials to release the name of the suspect has been there's a high degree of confidence to also what we have heard from the President himself, like Donald Trump. You need to check these he himself said that some of the people say that ISIS will not be quite close. At this stage, as I say, I think it's 5 sources appear high degree of confidence. They have that back. They will be very quickly to establish whether there's time because it's time into November, remember there is evidence handprint. They will have DNA, they have the fingerprint impression where he made his escape running across the beach, jumping down onto the ground. Right now, they will be executing various strands of the investigation during searching on his contact. The man himself, this man looking for him, university as we have been told, but he's in custody. That's the primary source of information. Did you or did you not kill Charlie Kirk? Donald Trump says that the family were involved in handing him over the 6B. The involvement of a minister of somebody who is clearly connected to the family. He has said that family member recognised that, you know, as the president's maybe got lucky, is out there, and that's clearly the intention when these strategies are put out, whether or not, you know, there's a baseball cap, shades, disguise involved. Ultimately, there will be somebody out there who knows the suspect that they want to trace, and that needs to be what's transpired in this case. I would say, in terms of the overall atmosphere here, it's been a heavy sense of grief more than anything else. Sure, the debate and the politics rage on, reverberate across this country. But I was at a vigil last night, held at you know, well organised, lasted for several hours. I spoke with the mayor, and I said to him, what are the emotions what's in your mind? And he spoke just about that predominant sense of sorrow, sure, there's anger, and there's a connection, I think, to this particular event with this particular community because it was so popular. There were so many people there, 3,000 and more students who fled in panic, who witnessed the horror, but also 3,000 people who attended the event, held, hosted by Charlie Kirk, with who they clearly had some information. They wanted to spend time in his company, listening to what he had to say. They witnessed the most horrific spectacle. So there are many people involved investing in the events of 48 hours ago, and to that extent, you know, it does spread a bereavement widely through this community. But sure, you know, politics, they bubble away, and you know, much talk about the implications of this for political debate. You know, where does it go from here? What form does a long-term reaction take in a country where political violence is on the increase, is embedding in the political culture? I suppose the discussion now turns towards that, and you know, I suppose we're seeing that pans out over the longer term. But right now, the priority is one of police work, is one of taking an assassin, a killer who had been on the loose for 48 hours, imagine in behind bars and proceeding towards justice and trial and everything that involves. Authorities here at the news conference last night, they say that they are looking for the death penalty in this case. So right now, I suppose, grinding legal process kicks in, making sure that everything is done appropriately and properly, and that the legal process takes its proper course, and that involves questioning principally of the suspect who's in custody, speaking to people who knew them, and of course interrogating why this happened in the first place. Questions this morning at this news conference will be about some of the detail reported that hasn't been confirmed by the authorities. Reports like writing on casing, shell casing. There are reports that was all about you know, cultural war and all about political motivation or a political motivation behind the assassination. We can ask these questions later on now that the authorities might be in a position to expand on that rather more. But yeah, the question is now focused on who the individual is, why did he commit this murder, and what are the wider foundations, and does it indeed amount to political violence? That has been the big assumption, but that actually has been a mystery as long as the identity of the shooter has been a mystery. Nobody's been saying certain what was behind this.
On that right now, my guess is they should upstage.
I'm based in Atlanta. I'm one of our doctors.
Chris.
We talked very briefly. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, sorry. This morning as well. So as we await this conference is supposed to starting, just a few minutes, we're starting to see more law enforcement come out on the last 30 minutes or so. We saw them coming into campus this morning about an hour ago. A caravan of bikes that is the IHS as well as the law enforcement. So as we monitor this morning, again, we're still waiting for that press conference. A lot more information about who this person is and perhaps a motive behind why they were at that event, what exactly happened,
Yeah, and that is a noble cause, isn't it? But I do wonder, the United States right now, it is clearly a politically divided country, and at moments like this, when such a high-profile, influential, and significant voice on the one side of the political debate has been assassinated, and clearly, there's trepidation about where it all goes from here, typically, and in the past, events like this have happened, and a country in general, from all sides of the politics, takes a step back, looks at where the country stands, and typically there will be a coming together, a call for unity, looking how bad things can be, and conversation about how much worse
So my guess is he will, but I don't think
that's typical. That's certainly what we have seen in the past, but I do wonder where we are in the United States at the moment, whether or not this country has gone past at that point. And we will find out in the days, weeks and months to come. But it's a problem. Political violence is an established problem here, and it's a danger heightening it up.
Well, that's a
I was
great
interested
question
to
because
hear
it's really
one of the
changed
officials
from
last night
yesterday
at
to
the lectern
this morning
during a
when
news
we arrived on campus.
he issued a warning to people generally. In fact, he said, in the words of Charlie Kirk, who phoned him, talk to your family. He made the point that there are many people out there, Russian bombs and so on, who try to generally give traction to division back on something like this. The message here last night was, don't let that turn your head. And there are strong, influential, widespread voices who are urging your task. In many ways, Charlie Kirk was one of them. So the message here last night was, vote the message from the guy talking about everybody is grieving right now and steer a peaceful path. Difficult, of course, is that there are many people who won't listen to the message. In a country that has ready access to arms, it can lead to
No announcements.
kind of horrific event that we saw here 14 hours ago, and clearly it's a fear here at peace.
It was interesting when he did, in fact, say that. I think that perhaps that suspect may have been a college student here on campus. We don't know a lot about that suspect right now, as you mentioned, Tamara, but as we learn more in the midst of having this press conference, perhaps we might understand a little bit who this person is, where they come from Utah, not from Utah, from Westview, perhaps they're a student. So we really as you mentioned, again, Chris Martin, a former police chief, he's been in law enforcement for a very long time, and he is making an educated guess, like many of us. No worries.
Do a quick mic check again.
Check one. Check 1 2. Check mic. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6. We're hoping to get at least a 3-minute warning when they start walking, but we haven't got that yet. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Everybody good? 1 2 3 4 5 6. Good.
So still no official word on the start time. We will try to give at least a 5-minute warning on that, but we'll do our best on that.
Yes, yeah. I don't know what else. They're going to ask some big questions. Yes. Yes, I will.
Ja, ich war mal drauf.
Yeah.
So 2 Minuten. All right.
We need my mic.
Yeah, we need his mic.
We have to. Huh? I mean, I haven't touched it either, so.
Is that Nick's mic or is that someone else's mic?
1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3.
Eddie, do you hear Nick?
Okay.
He said it's extremely low.
If it's possible.
Yeah.
I think I'll be proactive. Just assume that.
Well, we are hearing that it is not going to be now. We do not have an exact start time. We are told that we will hopefully get a 5-minute warning when that happens. I'm seeing press officials are gathering on the balcony above me, but no word yet on exactly when. We hope to be able to give you a 5-minute warning when that comes, John.
Okay. I was sitting here yesterday. I still owe you details about that.
Nice guy, mustache.
Okay.
I'd say if he comes over here, I'll offer him like some only because he's literally like I've worked in this sports location.
Yeah, that's the really unfortunate thing and the tragedy here. You know, as I mentioned to you yesterday, I am a widow, and when you lose a spouse, our first thing that you have to say for your children is safe, and those children need to grow up, and they are unborn. They are not. You know, it's kind of so much are asked now. Photos are circulating, and I do understand that some social media companies are trying to take some of those videos down that show the worst of the violence, but they're not going to get all of them, and that is really the difference thing, particularly
We'd like to believe that Cash Patel, the FBI director, will be front and centre of it, but there will be other players, arrest executed by Utah state authorities. They have been represented throughout these occasions. I think you'll see a lineup of all the agencies involved at this moment of a successful conclusion. They will presumably all their input and demonstrate their involvement.
Gotcha.
Cash Patel's an interesting one. I wonder if he will get questions today. Last night was a news conference. He was present, having flown in, and of course he's been controversial in this particular episode. Controversial to the extent that you wonder about his long-term future. 48 hours ago, in the immediate aftermath of the shooting, soon after, he tweeted, he posted on X that the suspect who had committed the killing, paraphrasing, was in custody. Said that with a degree of certainty, certain that this individual had committed murder. Of course, that does many things. The public react, drop their guard, perhaps, in an area where there is a killer on the loose. It also does have an influence, in fact, on the investigation at the time of them being asked to be wary, but also contribute information. So that was one tweet. The public, there would be a reaction to that. What he did very soon after that was to say that suspect has been interrogated and has now been released. So, that was a message. That was a mixed message coming from the press director of the FBI. So, that was a question for him last night. But as a news conference, at the time the job was want to ask questions, need to ask questions, and there are questions that need to be the investigation need to be related to the public. There was no question. States only nobody can ask anything. So nobody could ask him. Actually, it's not way out. Ask them about what this might have solved. Did you misrepresent the investigation at the stage? Did you endanger public safety? These are questions that are very easily. There's a statement, interestingly, on a White House official. He was asked about President Trump's view of Cash Patel and his handling of this Charlie Kirk affair. I'll read you the quote. This is from White House officials. Director Patel is working night and day on this case. Anyone who doubts his resolve and dedication, especially when Charlie was such a close friend to him, simply is using this extremely sad moment as a disgusting act of political games.
Yes, 7,000 tips.
Focuses justice and this bill faces the wrath of the justice system. So I suppose a bolstering Cash Patel of sorts, but I do wonder if the presence of much content before we are full total support, or his position at the top of the FBI is something of an issue. Clearly that's not the issue of the day right now. The issue of the day is this arrest, who is Tyler Robinson, why did he what was behind this institution, high-profile political figure in this country. The impression that Donald Trump has bounced everybody into this breaking of the news. We got a late shot to get to this place. We were to the news conference at the top of the hour. That was 45 minutes ago. And you've been told it's been the days, we'll give you a 5-minute warning. Seems rather more than 5 minutes away to be to the press people around into Utah Valley University where the shooting took place. No indication as to when this is going to start. They will want to be dotting their eyes and crossing their T's. Cash Patel will be hosting this meeting and certainly what inaccuracy on this one. So there are reasons reasons, I suppose, why there is debate, why they want to cross-check what the President has told us live on national television. We have a name. There will be ongoing searches of Thailand officers. Obviously, it will be balanced. Referencing with the evidence they have, DNA in the weapon, but forearm impression they say this vehicle and escape that shooter. So all of that work is ongoing right now. I suppose in terms of the detail of the press conference, that's up to the I guess it's all the cases. Should mention everything, all the furniture, journalists, international media are in place, just waiting for national governments.
That was pushed, I should say, into so time is of the essence, but again, we're waiting for them. They said that press conference when they want to start.
Check 1 2, mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10.
Yeah,
mic 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Check 1 2 1 2 3 4.
That is a widely held view. One thing that strikes me, and we've had this shooting, we have had such shootings in the past few weeks. When they take place, there is an actual debate, I find, across the media about access to guns. It's almost not part of the discussion any longer. It is for us. We have a piece of this business on regular facilities of gun violence, and yet when it turns its head, the notion is suggesting that there should be restriction of access to almost the discussion I find in response to events like British Thomas's in the United States moved on from that heavily a notion that it will embrace.
our correspondents outside. So I mean, at least
Yeah.
Hello, hello, testing, testing. Hi, everyone. We are 4 minutes out from starting the press conference. Thank you.
right. So we just heard right there that we are 4 minutes away from this press conference, and I think as well, things are just now starting to develop because we're seeing the FBI agents here out on the ballot. So we got to see that, and that there are high-level officials now, so that was certainly again, we are wanting to know two things. Is a suspect in custody? We were able to confirm that independently from President Trump. This is the Are you planning on running by FBI President Hotel as well as Eddie, can you hear me?
They just asked me to get in the shot, so I'm here, but I don't know which camera they're taking for the actual, because they were having issues with the Yeah. That's right, John. We were given a 4-minute warning 3 minutes ago, so we are expecting any second to see the officials coming in. We are told to expect a similar cast of characters we saw last night. That would be the governor, that would be the Utah Public Safety Commissioner, that would be Kash Patel from the FBI, and the FBI's special agent in charge. John, any second we should be seeing them coming into this room for the press conference. That 4-minute warning has expired. So any second now, John, we should be hearing more information in this case.
3 minutes ago, so we got
Yes, well, so this press conference was scheduled to start about an hour ago. It has been pushed, and now seeing officials walking into the room. They will be moving to the podium any second now. I'm trying to see if I can see Captain Bell. And off so far, they are moving towards the podium, and we are going to get this information now. We have been waiting for about an hour for it. So, officially moving towards the podium. So, there is Cash Patel, the director of the FBI. So I believe I should get out of the way.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. At today's press conference, we will hear from Governor Cox, FBI Director Cash Patel, and Sheriff Mike Smith. We also have with us Utah DPS Commissioner Bo Mason, Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson, FBI Special Agent in Charge Robert Bowles, and local and federal law enforcement partners. Following the remarks today, Governor Cox, Director Patel, and Commissioner Mason will take questions. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him. On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. This information was relayed to the Utah County Sheriff's Office and scene investigators at Utah Valley University. This information was also conveyed to the FBI. Investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th, in which he is observed on video in a plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light-colored shoes. When encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th, in the early morning hours, Robinson was observed in consistent clothing with those surveillance images. Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate. The family member also confirmed Robinson had a gray Dodge Challenger. Investigators identified an individual as the roommate of Robinson. Investigators interviewed that roommate, who stated that his roommate, referring to Robinson, made a joke on Discord. Investigators asked if he would show them the messages on Discord. He opened it and showed several messages to investigators and allowed investigators to take photos of the screen as each message was shown by Robinson's roommate. These photos consisted of various messages, including content of messages between the phone contact named Tyler with an emoji icon and Robinson's roommate's device. The content of these messages included messages affiliated with the contact Tyler, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, messages related to visually watching the area where a rifle was left, and a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope and the rifle being unique. Messages from the contact Tyler also mentioned that he had changed outfits. I know there's been speculation as well as to the writing on those casings, those bullet casings, and I believe we have that as well. And I'll share that with you now. So the area north of Campus Drive Road where the suspect crossed over, you saw some of that in the video that we released last night, consists of a grassy area with trees on the edge of the UVU campus. investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark-colored towel. The rifle was determined to be a Mauser Model 98 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle. The rifle had a scope mounted on top of it. Investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle. Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices, bulges, capital O-W-O, what's this, question mark." Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist, exclamation point, catch, exclamation point." Up arrow symbol, right arrow, and symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow," and a third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO." We are indebted to law enforcement across the state who's worked seamlessly together, local law enforcement, state law enforcement, and our federal partners with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We're grateful for everyone who worked together in such a short amount of time to find this person and to bring justice. I want to thank the public who has been so engaged, reviewing videos, helping us with sending in tips, and helping us get to this point. I want to thank the family members of Tyler Robinson who did the right thing in this case and were able to bring him into to law enforcement as well. I especially want to thank the family of Charlie Kirk, Erica, Charlie's parents, his children. I want us to be thinking of them as we bring justice in this case. They will be involved in that justice. We will be working very closely with them as we move through this process as well. This is a very sad day for our country, a terrible day for the state of Utah, but I'm grateful that at this moment we have an opportunity to bring closure to this very dark chapter in our nation's history. With that, I'll now turn the microphone over to the Director of the FBI, Kash Patel.
Thank you, Governor. This is what happens when you let good cops be cops. The FBI and our partners are proud to stand here today together to bring justice to the family of Charlie Kirk and honor his memory. I want to express my deep gratitude to President Trump, the Vice President, and the entire White House who have been so incredibly supportive with both resources and just personally to the FBI as a team. They had our backs the entire way, and I just want to express my gratitude for giving us the resources we need to operate in this space to bring this sort of justice at this sort of speed. In 33 hours, we have made historic progress for Charlie. Governor Cox, our partnership has been absolutely incredible these last few days. Our partnership will endure. Your state and local partners, your sheriffs, your DPS community has been unbelievably impressive in the hardest of times. And a case like this cannot be solved, cannot be brought without partnering with your state and local authorities. The FBI has a certain role to play. We will play that role, and we will lead out for the federal government. Governor Cox, we are so grateful for your state partnership that led out on this investigation. A little bit of the timeline. Charlie was shot at 12:23 p.m. on Wednesday. The first FBI agents arrived on scene in 16 minutes with chiefs of police at 12:39 and secured the scene. The FBI immediately launched fixed-wing assets. We utilized these assets to transport personnel, specialty technicians, hostage rescue teams. We also utilized these assets to go back and forth from the East Coast and here in Utah to transport forensic evidence and other evidence that will be analyzed and is being analyzed at our FBI laboratories in Quantico and other laboratories, including the ATF. At my direction, the FBI released the first set of FBI photos of the suspect at 10 a.m. local time on 9/11. Then, shortly thereafter, the FBI reward of $100,000 was released at 10:45 a.m. local. Myself and Deputy Director Bongino arrived on the scene at approximately 5:30 p.m. on 9/11. The governor held a press conference last night at approximately 8 p.m. where at my direction, the FBI released a never-before-seen video of the suspect. We also released new images to the public of the suspect. And just last night, the suspect was taken into custody at 10 p.m. local time. In less than 36 hours, 33 to be precise, thanks to the full weight of the federal government and leading out with the partners here in the state of Utah and Governor Cox, the suspect was apprehended in a historic time period. And I want to highlight what Governor Cox said. This would not have been possible without you, the media, and you, the public. That's why we went so public, so fast, and we're so transparent, and we're committed to that transparency. The crime scene, just a little bit there. It is a large crime scene. State and local authorities, along with federal authorities, processed that crime scene quickly, and I even had the ability to walk through that crime scene and walk through the steps the suspect took to learn more about what was needed and what resources we needed to bear to create a full picture for the FBI and leadership back in Washington. Furthermore, thankfully to state and local partners, forensic evidence has been seized and continues to be garnered. Forensic evidence has already been evaluated at FBI laboratories in Quantico and state and local authorities here. We will continue to process evidence as we see it, as we collect it, and we will continue to deliver to Governor Cox and his team. Last night we had a total of approximately 7,000 leads. As of this morning, thanks to your great work, we have over 11,000 leads that were called in to the FBI. And we are running out every single lead that we can. Every one of those leads will be run out. The arrest is a testament to the dedication of good law enforcement being great, and partnerships in law enforcement, which I've tried to highlight as my tenure as the director of the FBI. There is no better relationship for law enforcement than the FBI to partner with state and local authorities, and you've seen it here in these last few days. The FBI Salt Lake field office, along with our offices in LA, Phoenix, Denver, San Antonio, Las Vegas, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, our headquarters component in Quantico, all participate in the FBI. I want to express my deep gratitude to the employees of the FBI, the men and women, the evidence response team tacticians, the special operators, the agents, the support staff. You have done monumental work in historic time when the public, who had a right to demand such an expeditious solving of an investigation, the FBI answered that call diligently, critically important to our nation, and we delivered. And I'm proud to be their leader, and I'm proud to be the director of the FBI. This is very much an ongoing investigation, as the governor said, and we will continue to work with state and local authorities to develop the investigation, to provide them the evidence they need for their ongoing prosecutions, and we will be here to answer every call they absolutely have, as long as it takes, for as long as we need to find and apprehend whatever suspects were involved in this crime. Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk, rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
Thank you, and good morning. I would just like to take a few minutes as the sheriff to express my gratitude for everybody who has played a part in this investigation. As you know, it's been a vast, a complicated, and a very, very fast-paced investigation. You're looking at people standing up here who are running on, if they got an hour's sleep in the last couple of days, they're probably lucky. It has been very taxing. It has been so impressive, speaking on behalf of the local law enforcement, to see the cooperation that we've seen in this type of case. Across the state, sheriffs, chiefs, our state partners have stepped up and have come to the call on anything that we needed. Our county chiefs have been phenomenal. Our Utah County Attorney, Jeff Gray, who's standing up here with us, has been phenomenal in leading us through this investigation. I would like to thank the federal government for their resources, their assets. Our local team here, our FBI team, has been extraordinary in helping us work through this and bring this person to justice. Most of all, I would like to thank the public, and specifically, I would like to thank the public who turned to prayers and who turned to positiveness for us. I would like to thank them on behalf of the law enforcement community because we needed those prayers. That's what we needed to get through this. We needed your support, and you gave it to us. We needed your patience, and you gave it to us. And I would like to thank you for the Kirk family because that's what they need, is your support and your prayers, and that will get us through all of this. So thank you everybody for everybody that has stepped up. We've had such a phenomenal response to this. Thank you.
I also want to give a special thanks to the Attorney General and the Department of Justice. Their unwavering support and their commitment to justice is shown true here. And without AG Bondi and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and the resources they brought to bear, we would not have been able to complete our mission. And I just want to say special thanks. It's an honor to be a part of the Department of Justice.
Thank you again to our incredible law enforcement team who has worked so hard. Sheriff, I got a solid 90 minutes last night, so I'm probably the most well-rested person up here. Ladies and gentlemen, I get the microphone, so I hope you'll permit me a moment just to share a few more thoughts about where we are and how we got here, and maybe a little bit of where we go from here. I don't want to get too preachy, but I think it's important that we, with eyes wide open, understand what's happening in our country today. I've heard people say, well, why are we so invested in this? There's violence happening all across our country, and violence is tragic everywhere, and every life taken is a child of God who deserves our love and respect and dignity. This is certainly about the tragic death, political assassination of Charlie Kirk. But it is also much bigger than an attack on an individual. It is an attack on all of us. It is an attack on the American experiment. It is an attack on our ideals. This cuts to the very foundation of who we are, of who we have been, and who we could be in better times. Political violence is different than any other type of violence for lots of different reasons. One, because in the very act that Charlie championed of expression, that freedom of expression that is enshrined in our founding documents, in having his life taken in that very act, makes it more difficult for people to feel like they can share their ideas, that they can speak freely. We will never be able to solve all the other problems, including the violence problems that people are worried about, if we can't have a clash of ideas safely and securely. Even, especially those ideas with which you disagree. That's why this matters so much. Over the last 48 hours, I have been as angry as I have ever been, as sad as I have ever been. And it was, as anger pushed me to the brink, it was actually Charlie's words that pulled me back. I'd like to share some of those. And specifically right now, if I could, I need to talk to the young people in our state, in my state, and all across the country. As President Trump reminded me, he said, you know who really loved Charlie? The youths. And he's right. Young people loved Charlie, and young people hated Charlie. And Charlie went into those places anyway. And these are the words that have helped me. Charlie said, when people stop talking, that's when you get violence. He said, the weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. The only way out of the labyrinth of suffering is to forgive. Welcome without judgment, love without condition, forgive without limit. He said, always forgive your enemies, nothing annoys them so much. A few months ago, I referenced this last night, Charlie posted to social media, when things are moving very fast and people are losing their minds, it's important to stay grounded. Turn off your phone, read scripture, spend time with friends, and remember, internet fury is not real life. It's going to be okay. He again said, when you stop having a human connection with someone you disagree with, it becomes a lot easier to commit violence. He said, what we as a culture have to get back to is being able to have a reasonable agreement, where violence is not an option. Now, again, to my young friends out there, you are inheriting a country where politics feels like rage. It feels like rage is the only option. But through those words, we have a reminder that we can choose a different path. Your generation has an opportunity to build a culture that is very different than what we are suffering through right now. Not by pretending differences don't matter, but by embracing our differences and having those hard conversations. I think we need more moral clarity right now. I hear all the time that words are violence. Words are not violence. Violence is violence. And there is one person responsible for what happened here. And that person is now in custody and will be charged soon and will be held accountable. And yet, all of us have an opportunity right now to do something different. I want to thank my fellow Utahns. This bad stuff happens. For 33 hours, I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I hoped for. Just because I thought it would make it easier on us if we could just say, hey, we don't do that here. And indeed, Utah is a special place. We lead the nation in charitable giving. We lead the nation in service every year. But it did happen here. And it was one of us. But I want you to look at how Utahns reacted the last 2 nights. There was no rioting. There was no looting. There were no cars set on fire. There was no violence. There were vigils and prayers and people coming together to share the humanity. And that, ladies and gentlemen, I believe is the answer to this. We can return violence with violence. We can return hate with hate. And that's the problem with political violence, is it metastasizes. Because we can always point the finger at the other side. And at some point, we have to find an off-ramp, or it's going to get much, much worse. But see, these are choices that we can make. History will dictate if this is a turning point for our country. But every single one of us gets to choose right now if this is a turning point for us. We get to make decisions. We have our agency. And I desperately call on every American, Republican, Democrat, liberal, progressive, conservative, MAGA, all of us to please, please, please follow what Charlie taught me. I'll just conclude with words I share often from a friend and author, Yuval Levin, who was asked if he was optimistic about our country. And he said, I'm not optimistic. He said, I hate optimism. God, that sounds bad. But he said, optimism is a vice It's this idea that good things are just going to happen. And he said, in the history of the world, good things have never just happened. He says, I'm not optimistic, but I am hopeful. And hope is the virtue that sits between the vices of optimism and pessimism. Hope is the idea that good things are going to happen because we can make them so. I still believe in our country. And I know Charlie Kirk believed in our country. I still believe that there is more good among us than evil. And I still believe that we can change the course of history. I'm hopeful because Americans can make it so. Ladies and gentlemen, we're happy to answer any questions you may have.
Governor, can you please speak to whether the suspect is speaking with authorities and his demeanor, Tyler Robinson, when he turned himself in?
I cannot speak to that.
Governor, how do you interpret his motivation? Governor, how do you interpret the engravings on the casing?
Well, I will leave that up to you to interpret what those engravings mean. I think the clearest one that says "catch fascist," there's not, and by the way, that's like catch like a ball, catch this. That's I think that speaks for itself.
Governor, you talked about this level of hatred that this person expressed at a dinner. Beyond that, is there anything in your view that you've discovered that may have radicalized or changed him to prompt him to commit such a horrific act?
There's nothing more that we can share at this time.
Governor, you indicated that he had been communicating with a friend on Discord about the gun. Do you anticipate any more arrests?
We do not at this time have any information that would lead to any additional arrests.
Do you believe he acted alone?
Yes. But the investigation is ongoing.
Can you talk more about the family, what they had to say about the suspect?
How he came into custody of police and where he is right now, Mr. Robinson?
Yes, so right now, Mr. Robinson has been booked into the Utah County Jail. You heard the president this morning report that he was taken into custody, that his family and a friend helped to deliver him into custody of law enforcement in Washington County. Those of you that don't know where Washington County is, it is the southernmost, southwesternmost part of the state of Utah. It's about a 3.5 to 4 hour drive from here, where we are right now, and that's where he lived and where they turned him.
Is he talking more about what the family is saying about Tyler Robinson?
I can't share any more than what I've already shared.
Is he talking
Governor,
with
do you have
authorities?
details on how he got back to Washington County and how the gun was obtained?
So how we obtained the gun? The gun was found.
No, how the shooter obtained the gun and how the shooter then was able to get back to Washington.
So I don't have much more details on that. We do know that he drove. We had his car here on campus, and then we had his car going south back to the St. George. It's actually the city of Washington in Washington County.
Is he talking with authorities and did he discuss a voting?
I'm sorry?
Did the suspect plan to carry out any other attacks?
We don't have any information that
Are you
will
going to be releasing the mugshot?
Yes, in fact, it was just released.
Is
yes.
he talking with authorities and did he discuss a motive?
I can't answer that right now.
Can you clarify? You've spoken very eloquently about trying to reunite this country. Do you feel that this is a watershed in American history?
I absolutely believe that this is a watershed in American history, yes. The question is what kind of watershed? And that chapter remains to be written. Is this the end of a dark chapter in our history or the beginning of a darker chapter in our history? Look, I mean, if you look at true political assassinations in this country of someone of this stature, this feels a lot like the late 60s. And having one so gruesomely displayed on camera in all of our hands and in all of our pockets, we are not wired as human beings biologically, historically. We have not evolved in a way that we are capable of processing those types of violent imagery. And by the way, we've seen another one with a gruesome stabbing very recently that went viral. This is not good for us. It is not good to consume. Social media is a cancer. on our society right now. And I would encourage, again, I would encourage people to log off, turn off, touch grass, hug a family member, go out and do good in your community. That is happening, and it's happening organically right now. I had a friend in a small city in Utah who said, we're getting together, the Republicans and Democrats in my little town are getting together to have a discussion tonight, last night, just to find a way to find their better angels. So yes, this could be, I mean, you know, again, you have to go back to JFK to have seen a video live of something like this happening. I wasn't born until 1975, but I know that things were really dark in the late 60s. Sorry to some of you. I know some of you were there. This is our moment. Do we escalate, or do we find an off-ramp? And again, it's a choice. It's a choice, and every one of us gets to make that choice. Two more questions right here.
Could we clarify that the release of those enhanced images at 8 p.m. timeline that Director Patel gave us led to the arrest at 10 p.m.? Is there a direct connection between those two events?
I cannot comment if there is a direct connection or not, but all I can say is that that through some process, the family came to know that this had happened.
One more thing, Governor. Could you just clarify the clothing issue you mentioned earlier? Was he changing outfits?
Correct.
Could you just clarify this?
Yes. So when he's first spotted on campus, he has different clothing on, and then he changes clothing on the roof, and then changed back into that clothing at some point, so that when he was apprehended, when he was arrested, the clothing matched the clothing he had on before the shooting here at UVU. Last question here.
You said that the suspect was from Utah. Can you kind of tell us a little bit more about where, and was he a student here at this university, and is there any history of mental illness?
Yeah. So I don't have any information on the mental illness part. He was not a student here at UVU. He was living and had lived for a long time with his family in Washington County. Thank you, everyone, for your great work in getting this information out. I would just say, process-wise, this may be important. I know many of you aren't familiar with the process in Utah. I think it's important that you understand that. Basically, we have 3 days for charging documents to be filed. A CI will be filed. We'll have more information then, more detailed information as those charging documents are filed in preparation for a preliminary hearing. So 3 days. So we would anticipate then that early next week those charging documents will be filed. We will obviously be working. The county attorney will be working very closely with Mr. Kirk's family as those documents and decisions are prepared and made. Thanks, everyone.
One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Cool.